Because of this last day of my vacation was terrible. Everybody knows I was looking forward to camping, but it was a goddamn nightmare. I was on coyote duty. My first camping trip got canceled because my brother said I did not get the magical elixir, therefore we cannot hang out, and it could be years until I see him. Look, man, shit sucks for me. So I've been going through some emotional problems just because, because I've resisted for like 18 months, but it's getting down to the goddamn wire. Like, shit is going down. People email me about the magical elixir and stuff because of certain mandates. Because of that, I'm going to talk about my schedule. First of all, be aware, so for this video, if you have a question, I'm doing a special on Saturday before my hiatus. I have to take a hiatus just because I need to get the goddamn astrology charts. Like, I need to be punished for delaying this for over a month. It is really dragging down my channel. Okay, so let's see. Ooh, I do gotta talk about some things real quick. Okay, look, for the record, astrology has really dragged down my channel. I've missed like several deadlines. I've been delayed like by a month and a half, really. There are things that I just need to get to, all right? Like, I'm serious. Like, once I get over astrology, I can start talking about real things like agent smithing theory, NPC signaling theory, consensus gentium theory, law of attraction theory. Look, man, dude, I'll do it, all right? I'm going to do what I should have done in the beginning, all right? I'm going to do what Dan from the Overwatch and Quantum of Conscious Matt cannot, all right? Like, I should just change my channel from Dan from the Quantum of Conscious too, all right? Because, like, Jesus Christ, like it's goddamn over, really. I mean, the truther community is just a joke to me, all right? Like, I'll do it, okay? Like I swear to God. Okay, look, so for this video, if you have questions I'm doing a special on Saturday, like an Ask Me Anything. People just don't know what to ask me. I find that the most obvious thing. Like, they don't have good questions to ask me. So it's really dependent on the audience. You can ask up to 3 questions. But really, I mean, I find a lot of times people just don't know what to ask. Okay, dude, I have to do an unlisted video for Jake. So if you have to send me an email where I do an unlisted video, talk about stuff for your personal whatever, you can send it to me. I will try to get through them during my hiatus. I mean, I would have a line going down. Public email, I have to do one for Tom. He specifically has very specific questions regarding things that could help people. And he said I could talk about it. Okay, let's see. So Saturday will be Ask Me Anything. So under this video, you can basically ask questions down in comments. Look, man, speak now or forever hold your peace, right? If you gotta ask me something, you gotta do it now, all right? Whether it's an email, whether it's a comment below, because I am going on a hiatus on Sunday. So Sunday, I'm gonna do a hiatus show. I'm gonna talk about why I need to go on a hiatus. It's mostly to finish out these astrology charts. These things need to be gone out of the way. It is making me depressed. It is dragging down my show. Like, what I should have done has been delayed for a long time because of the astrology charts. Like, once it's done, I can go back to variety shows. I can go back to Saturday premiere shows. I can go back to movie breakdowns, TV, whatever, talking about, weird metaphysical theories. Okay, look, and it's also, it's very unfortunate because if I take hiatus, I'm taking it at the worst possible time, okay? Like, really, I should not be taking a hiatus right now, but this is probably why the Matrix wanted me out of the way with my kryptonite. My kryptonite is astrology. Like, it's not that I can't do it, I just hate doing it, and it leads to divination problems, which I don't like. It's not generally smiled upon, but, I'll do it, but I'm being taken off the board at the moment, as soon as Sunday happens. Okay, so yeah, so that's not a big deal. And after that, I'm never doing astrology again. I mean, I say that unless someone begs me, but I'm gonna try not to do it. Okay, so I want to get some things out of the way first. Okay, so dude, yeah, things are not looking good. They're pretty bleak. Like, look at this.
These momos, they're praising Johnson and clean hands. It's just
praise clean hands. Jesus Christ.
This guy's a big pharma tyranny.
Yeah, go Moderna.
You see, now he's a little bit confused. Some of these people are like, what the? But I mean, the vast majority of them, these people could be whipped into a fucking mob.
Dude.
Yep. Boo the anti.
It's not looking good. And the happy fun time camps are coming. Depends on what. Yeah, dude, it is not looking good. Look, if you're in the truther bubble, I mean, you really think there's some sort of resistance. People are actually fighting back. Oh, look. Okay, look, I'm gonna use my personal and someone else as a good example. So I am from the New England area, so it's very blue. It's like ground zero. I would say that out of my workplace is 300 people. I would say almost everyone has got it. Almost everyone has rented the magical elixir. I would say, in my whole store, I'm one of the last holdouts. I would say there's probably 10 people left. If you look at Drew Chalkbody Outline, I mean, he just quit his job recently because there's an employment place of 300 people, and he's one of the 2 or 3 people who will openly speak out against it. There might be some people who are silent about it but protesting privately, but eventually look, I mean, this is part of the plan, okay? Like I said, they're going to come for people step fashion by step fashion. So I went for the boomers first, all right, because they were willing to take it because they're the TV generation, they're dumb. Okay, then I went for the woke getards on the left second because they worship the state, they worship the technocracy. So they want Brave New World. Like you see this, they worship the state and the magical elixir like it is their second coming of Jesus. Okay. Then after that, you would have gotten the college kids for the immunization records just to go back to school. Look, they went for group by group by group by group. This was divide and conquer from the beginning. I would say of the population has actually gotten it, I would actually make it closer to, there's a magical number. That magical number is crossing over 51%. And I would say they are almost very close to it. Or if not, they've already reached it. So when you listen to the trutards saying, they're lying about the numbers. There's nowhere near close to what they are saying that they've gotten it. And in fact, and then I know people are just dropping like flies left and right. Look, man, that's not necessarily true. It's a lot more difficult to talk about what's going on just because I'm on this platform. Okay, I've said it before. They want to get rid of everyone above Gen X. Once 2 generations are gone, they win, and then we enter the Brave New World society. You see these dumbsard peoples. So I'm gonna watch. Okay, well, I gotta exit out of this. Okay. Look, this is a Brave New World from Peacock. Like I always talk about the scenario, Brave New World 2022. They want to move from the pointy thingy, the pointy stick, all right, to pills. Like in the movie Brave New World. I mean, in the TV series Brave New World by Peacock. I mean, it's a very good series. It basically tells you what the future is going to look like. And what token resistance that there is, like of the truthers or the right-wing people or religious people, look, man. They're gone. It's token resistance. They're toothless. They're fangless. They have already been, I mean, they're classic sheep, and sheep get, I mean, look, I've already looked at their religious leaders selling them out, right at the highest levels, saying that they will not provide a letter of religious exemption. I mean, you actually can just write one. Well, I mean, I'll talk about that later. But look, man, this is the world that we're heading into. Sedation, happiness. The greatest sin will be solipsism. All right, spirituality will be replaced by the state. okay, whatever, dude. I mean, I don't want to get too depressed. Look, this stuff is not unpredictable. This is the problem. Like, if you watch my Warren E. Pollock series, Warren E. Pollock, I mean, he's the smartest man I ever met. He predicted the stuff happening during the Obama Middle Eastern stuff 10 years in advance. And then what he was talking about in this series, what is it? Embracing dictatorship. I mean, we were in economic dictatorship after they changed the rules after the financial collapse anyway. So now they're changing the rules for society, culture, rule of law, and mandate to be a medical technocracy. All right. So we are in the embracing dictatorship phase. We've been in this state of phase since the year 20. I'm trying to think. I suppose 2013. Okay. And now we are in the China is the superior man phase, which is the build-up phase. That's why there's problems with the stock market. And China is becoming a lead indicator over the U.S. And there's rumors of wars or whatever. But then there's the industrial problem in China anyways. As this world moves into a global partitioned system, where the U.S. and that country I cannot name in the Middle East becomes a beneficiary, exporter of culture and military technology, and China will be the industrial powerhouse because of using cheap labor. This is a balancing economy as the system moves, and the efficacy of the empire, the world global thing that is being structured, that has been in existence since Bretton Woods. Cryptocurrencies is building out the back foundation. Then they'll probably make it illegal or label it as a security, which they've done with a lot of places. So once it gets labeled as a security, the blockchain, that technology has existed from the 80s. I know someone who set up a lot of the internet stuff, or a lot of the problem comes from the internet, the use of IPv5 versus IPv6, and then it has to do with them gaming out the ethereal world, which is the internet. The internet is not what it used to be. Okay, let's see. Okay, where Karl Marx was correct, we are in late stage capitalism, where Karl Marx theories are coming correct when it comes to this specific point, regardless of the demonization of Karl Marx. He was, not the best person, but I do notice that a lot of people on the right like to demonize him because he is the progenitor father of communism. But look, communism for the East, capitalism for the right. This has to do with how humans interact on an individual versus collective basis. Like capitalism in the East would never work, but it would in the West. There's very specific reasons. So we're in late stage capitalism where the value of labor is trending to zero, and it'll be eventually moved off as everyone goes work from home, and then there'll be only an essential class on the ground level, and everyone else is a useless eater. Like I'm talking about, a lot of people, they are net beneficiaries of dictatorship, empire, and society as we are moving into a decline of the hegemonic, unipolar model of the English, Anglo-Saxon, Americana system as it transitions to a new base using the front of, the East, even though everything will be still situated in certain city-states, which would be, I would say Vatican City, City of London, D.C., then there's adding new players. Do people really care about this? It's more geopolitics. I don't really care about this. Okay, it'll be transitioning over anyways, but then China is doing things which are stupid right now, so we'll see how this goes. The bell tolls for the United States. Mike Qui-Gon Jinn said this 5 years ago, all right? He said there's a day coming where you cannot leave your country, all right? We've been going through, think about it. If you're in certain countries, you can't leave, all right? Ideally, you should be a young man, you should leave to a place where there's still rule of law. And you can tell how successful a society is based on the size, not the entire wealth of the country, but by the size of the middle class. You look at China, you get peasant farmers and slaves, and then you get ultra-rich elite connected to the Politburo. You look at America, you get the corporate elite, and then everybody else is either the working poor or the welfare queens. And then you get some people hanging on to this illusion of the middle class as they are getting eaten and shrunken. Okay, like the middle class of America used to be dominant. Up into the 90s, then there's two financial collapses, which is done on purpose to basically shift societal control. Okay, whatever. That's just on the exoteric front. So, okay, Jesus Christ, dude, goddamn it. Dude, it's goddamn over. Not necessarily. We're still on a timetable. I would say, dude. I've talked about timetables before. I've talked about enough about it. The build-out phase will be next year. They win by 2025. We should start seeing Brave New World's integration by the year 2028, and then full Brave New World by 2032. Then they do. These time horizons are too long. This is the problem. Like, I have the ability to sit out and watch time horizons where I think 2 to 4 years is, quick. All right, but most people don't have this ability, which is why when I look at the Voldemort disease, even though to me this is, I call it a molasses train disaster for most people, because it is, but it is predictable. This is mapping out against the religion and looking at the sky clock of astrology, what can or can't be done, what has to be told, certain rules to control, the idiot masses. I mean, it's their fault, really. And then, people rely on the truther community, which is mostly the, look, even though I say this, but I always get flack for this. It's because the white Christian patriot truthers, who are the trad cons, who are religious fundamentalists, they are gamed out. They're toothless, they're fangless, they have no real power, they're not willing to do what it takes, they are not smart, and they're just used as the boogeymen. All right, this is a flipping of roles, because back in old days they had the power, but now that they don't have the power, they're playing the victim. All right, this is a unhealthy relationship between the wolf and the sheep, who is the shepherd. Okay, there's one more thing I want to talk about. To this one right here. Like a lot of people, look, none of this to me is unpredictable. There's a lot of things which have, foreshadowed what's happening now and what will happen in the future. Like Mr. Robot's a great example. Like if you watch Mr. Robot and Evil Corp, I'll just play this. I'll react to this a little bit. Yeah.
What is it about society that disappoints you so much?
Yeah. Society is screwed. Okay, let's go. What time is it?
Oh, I don't know. Is it that we collectively thought Steve Jobs was a great man, even when we knew he made billions off the backs of children?
Yeah, if you think about it, your standard of living is built on the back of the Chinese. So then people hate them, and then it becomes a shifting of empire anyways, because the average American is like, one of my favorite shows is actually 1,000-Pound Sisters. All right, we're shifting into a period phase where there is no actual national identity, but identity based on corpos. Corporations as a multinational, entity with no political real ties, as it moves over with, it's basically a neo-techno feudal era, where whichever group that you're in is basically a castle, as corporations are people.
Or maybe it's that it feels like all our heroes are counterfeit. The world itself's just one big hoax.
Why not Brady? We're all this one big hoax. Oh look, they kill your heroes on purpose. All right, what they like to do is, this is how they defanged people from the start. There's this argument of master and slave. So they give you idol, worship, or people that you look up to, or football stars. Americans, they love their concert, they love their entertainment, they love their live entertainment, like rock music. They love culture and narcissism, and but why are people looking outside when they should be bettering their lives instead of staring at the screen and living vicariously? Like in Brave New World, people live vicariously through each other, and that's how they become more integrated.
Spamming each other with our running commentary bullshit, masquerading as insight.
Yeah.
Our social media.
Yeah, most social media is distraction. None of it is actually relevant.
Media faking is
social media in its current integration is simply too far gone. It's too pervasive. Almost everyone is connected at every demographic age group. And because of that, it's become more of a systematic process of, informational demoralization, integration based on fourth generation warfare. This is, everybody knows this. So even interactions or group dynamics controls, this is part of the game. So you just need to identify which group demographic exists and which part is being gamed out, and how the narrative construction is being controlled. Like a lot of people ask me this question, Pink, how come when you talk about something, I've noticed that, literally the next day or 3 days later, you see people talking about it, and are they necessarily watching me? No, but this is more putting a thought form out in the ether, and whether or not people within the lurkers or comments people or even viewers watch us end up repeating things, which is moving certain narratives forward. I mean, the information flow of the way humans think is really that of an inforg. If you want to think it on the ethereal level.
Intimacy. Or is it that we voted for this?
Well, okay, now it's going to talk about voting. All right, this is what the Q-tards were obsessed with.
Not with our rigged elections, but with our things, our
with our things, our products, our attention.
property, our money.
Pop property, money.
I'm not saying anything new. We all know.
Look, he's not saying anything new. All right, so why are people freaking out? All right, look, people voted for this. All right, they look. You know, people don't realize that most people, as long as they get bribed, they will do, you know, whatever is told of them. This is the problem with the master-slave relationship, which is why I was basically testing people by seeing if they could get over their hump, where I say, oh, I'm the master of my channel. So people call me master, even though it means really a rank based on skill, as I have learned the books and the arts, whatever. But it's really a problem, really, where people cannot see this dictatorship. They do not understand what is happening in front of them. And what's happening in front of them is it's a farm, all right, a human loosh farm. It's been going on for a long time.
Why we do this, not because Hunger Games books makes us.
Yeah, he's going to tell you why people do this. All right? Like, why do people go get the magical elixir? All right, it's because, oh my God, I'm so lonely. I'm cooped up. Oh my God. Oh, I want to go to the concert. Look, right now we're in a game of attrition. All right, we are in a dangerous phase of the war of attrition. But I don't see humanity winning, because if you look at what happened in Blind 11, the easiest way to defeat the system apparatus at that point would have been to simply stop traveling. Okay, stop. You could have dismantled the whole walking through the metal detector scanner thingy and getting pat downs. Because I mean, look, that stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff that's happening right now, I see it as literally the Yahtzeeification of America. All right, like they were doing brown shirt shit with since Blind 11, and now they're going full on Goebbels and Eugene genetics right now with the magical elixir. But do I think, but then if you look at the truth, I mean, this is how fantastic or absolutely genius the powers that be are, because they control the truthers. All right, they float out the most hyperbolic, insane shit, and then these people who repeat it get the clicks and the views, and then it becomes parroted by the egregore known as the truther or the Q-tards. All right, and because they're saying insane shit which people on a ground level do not see, they think that they are crazy and maybe they should get the magical elixir. All right, a great example of this is all the people like Cliff High, or I mean, there's a bunch of people, these Q-tards, where they say, oh, if you get the magical elixir, it's gonna Minecraft half the population. I see kids who can't even walk upstairs and they just fall on the ground. How can these nurses just give it to like little children, and then they're just throwing up, the red liquid in your body on the ground? Oh, this is worse than the Yahtzees. Look, do I see this happening in real life? No. In my workplace, I mean, I know, look, I've known 300 people that have gotten it, right? Like, my brother's gotten it, my cousin's gotten it, my aunt's got it, my sister's got it. Do I see them keeling over? Oh my God, it's mass Minecraft. Oh my God. No, but think about this hyperbolic Chicken Little strategy that the true trutards are using on their own audience, and then how it benefits the system. All right, it makes them radioactive, makes them, it's not even about the normal person only cares about this whole idea of papers, please. All right, the true tards think, oh, if you take it, it's bowing of the knee, and it's Minecrafting everybody. Look, man, they have thought 10 steps ahead of you. This is a game of attrition. They've already, look, I can actually document and draft it down in like a drop list of how this is being done by which age group, which demographic, which intelligence rating, which egregore group, which political group, which religious group. I mean, you can, the way I think, I can see it clearly. And when I look at how the dominoes are falling in these mandates which are there to supersede the rule of law. The rule of law does not exist. All right, it has not existed for a long time, but it's just whether or not you didn't see it. All right, the rule of law was gone. Well, it was deteriorating after Blind 11. Then it was very noticeable with the people at the upper levels after the restructuring of financial laws. Many people thought they had a chance with crypto until crypto was being rearranged as a security. You see this legislation that's happening out. I mean, like, my God. I mean, look, first of all, I mean, like Trump's warp speed. Are you fucking kidding? Uncle Joe Biden wants to document transactions between bank accounts. Like, they are coming after everything. But now it is a matter of seeing where resistance has to be taken out by the system and what is willing to be fought for and who is willing to fight for which and how the strategy lays out. I mean, this is, I can't even really talk about this because this is so complex. I would need to draw it out and really explain it. But then who is this really for? I mean, I don't want to give people ideas.
It's happy, but because we want to be sedated.
Yeah, look. See, this is the problem. I've always said this is the problem. This is the problem of not taking accountability, responsibility. People want to be sedated.
Because it's painful not to pretend. Because we're cowards.
Yeah, dude, everyone's a coward, okay?
Society.
Yeah, dude, F society, okay? Even when it comes to this quote-unquote medical technocracy of tyranny, look, man, excuse me, half of the Americans are on pharmaceuticals already. It's already been predicted. I mean, V for Vendetta talks about this. I mean, if you really want to know, I mean, I don't want to paint out such a bleak picture, right? Because to me, I don't really care about this. This is more even on, for me, it's more on the physical level. Okay, so, okay, that just takes care of that. I mean, I'm trying not to be too depressing. Okay, let's see. How much time I got left? Okay, yeah, I still got time. Okay. I'll answer one comment. Okay, this is from Ryan Line.
Like, for instance, a baby that dies.
Okay. I mean, look, this is more of what my specialty really is. This is some of the weirder topics, okay? But I'll answer just to give people ideas for questions to ask me on Saturday.
Like, for instance, a baby that
Jesus Christ. I'm getting really... Oh, hold on. Okay.
Ryan the Lion 7 hours ago. Pink Puss, I just came up with something. When people have terrible deaths or early deaths, or early terrible deaths, I think what that...
Okay, so you're talking about why people have terrible deaths or die randomly. I mean, look, first of all, trigger warning. I've looked into every religion, every secret society, whatever. I've looked into all the books of the dead. I've looked even into the New Ager stuff. You'd be surprised how much of the stuff the New Agers said at the beginning, before they got co-opted by the All Is Love clown tards. All right, the New Agers said some very useful things. All right, and I've never really talked about my first-hand accounts or data mining other people who had first-hand accounts. This is the most important thing, that the value of information I can have is first-hand accounts. Not even reading books. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about first-hand accounts when I answer this question about death and the spiritual world and the afterlife, okay? Because look, man, Dan from the Overwatch, I can't believe he devolved that far, right? He just says, oh, I'll just figure out the point of my death, and hold on to your sovereignty. And then Matt says, we'll never figure it out in this avatar form. When we die, we'll just know everything. No, you will not, all right? This is some sort of goddamn conveyor belt school system, like it's reflected in grades, and if you can't figure it out in this incarnation, then you move on to cyclings of other incarnations, all right? People don't, but in this middle incarnation, because the way this realm is structured, as was stated in Tibetan Book of the Dead, you can just leave if you wanted to. If you take what I'm saying seriously, but I don't know. Some people I'm not. Maybe with my new people, but look, long story short, I mean, look, I'm gonna say it from. So one of the first clues I ever got was from reading from a very specific comment from Quantum of Consciousness. A random commentator. He said his mother died, and then like within a week or whatever, she came back in her ghost, magical, etheric, astral body form, or a soul, or an angel form. Look, she came back as a ghost to tell her son when he was young, life, this place, the mother said, this place isn't what you think it is. Life isn't what you think it is, and in death, there are different layers and levels of heaven, which is very consistent with what I've read. Like people talking about like the 10 layers of heaven, or the third heaven, or even this cycling incarnations upon the Bhava chakra when it comes to looking at the transmigration of the soul in connection to secret society stuff. Look, most of the problem that I actually get is, look, I mean, this woman who died, she was Christian, all right? But in Christianity, they basically, they're holding your soul in escrow, right? It's being, I can't even talk about this too much. It's because it's too heavy, okay? Like I'm aware of very specific things. Like I remember one of the New Agers. He said like when he had his near-death experience, like when he was about to die, his soul raised up but beyond the towards the upper atmosphere of the Veil of Tears, which is what is Van Allen radiation belt, and he was told by this super being, as in himself as a super being, and he stared into the white light of the sun. This is consistent with some of the esoteric works I've read and with Manly P. Hall. And he said, you can either go to the sun, the white light, which is the conveyor track, the belt, for this school of knowledge and learning as you go through other portals. I mean, this is about the transmigration of the soul and moving after death of the Atmu, where you as your avatar actually dissipates and you continue on your journey. So it is not about consciousness or awareness, really. Or you can turn around away from the white light, and he saw into Aetherius, which is the astral pinholes, which is very consistent with Gnosticism, that is the true escape. There's other little things. I mean, I've known people who tell me the same thing, all right, that when they were close to death, like my Yoda master, an angel of oblivion came to him and said, yo, you need to go back because you need to do this and help humanity and do that, all right? Because he had a destiny to fulfill, all right? I've heard this with another person where she met some entity which she met something that did something very similar. This is an aeonic being, an angel of oblivion. And another person recently, Rainbow Tomato, he told me he had a similar experience where he faced this final destination death state, and then he saw this female, it's usually a female voice, or a beautification voice based on Venus. That's what I've figured out. That's just the angel of oblivion. And then there's other weird things that I don't talk about, like how when some people can astral travel or see into dream world, they see symbolic hieroglyphics like that of the Matrix, but in symbolic hieroglyphics, which is actually has basis to this because it is reported by Robert Monroe. All right, it was also reported by my Yoda master. I've seen, and I don't really talk about my journeys of in the post-death state or the near-death state or astral traveling much. I've only really talked about meeting these Dementor beings. I mean, there's a whole hierarchy of this stuff, and why you have your spiritual journey in this learning school, look, long story short, I suggest to you to find enlightenment, find the keys to the kingdom of heaven within, or reach nirvana in the now, so you don't have to do this stuff, okay? But the problem is, even though I say this, people cannot get over their love of life. Even on my channel, like, I don't want to be too mean to people. Like, people are still popping out babies. It's actually fine, but you should apologize to your kid for bringing them into this insane world. You're going to bring them into this world now? Are you serious? The happy fun time camps are coming. You're going to bring them in now? Look, I don't want to be too rude, but look, you have to realize your responsibility is to the being that you brought into this world until age of majority. So I would have recommended against it. But whatever, dude. I mean, people have their own journeys. Who am I to criticize? But people always attack me, saying, "Well, why am I listening to you if you're childless and you have different interpretations of Christianity, or you're a Gnostic? Oh, you're Buddhist. Oh, you're Chinese." Look, man, I get attacked a lot for what I say. All right. But I'm at the point where I cannot hold back anymore. All right? We're at the point where I should teach you like Matrix stuff. All right. Like Matt is talking about, look, Matt from Quantum Consciousness, watch his latest video. Look, I know no one watches him anymore, right? Because he doesn't say anything really useful anymore. He's just too dumb. Look, I'm gonna say it. He's just too dumb. He hit a roadblock, and because of that, I'll just steal his terms and just refine his theories, which matter. All right, but look, man, he saw a spider in the web, and he saw a book come out with a spider cryptographing algorithm. So this is, it's synchronicity, right? The truth is, they say it's synchronicity, but what does the Matrix say? Deja vu. What did you say? Deja vu. Deja vu is a glitch in the Matrix. It's a glitch in the Matrix. Synchronicity is actually explained in the book Jesus and the Lost Goddess. It's basically you in the spirit form prefronting and seeing into the future. Like I tell you, when you have wizarding skills, you have the most useless abilities, like having the ability to see 5 to 10 seconds in the future, like Final Destination. A great example is the test where a scientist pulls out a picture. One is horrific and gory, and the other one is a happy little bunny, right? And then every time people move to be shown the horrific image, they wince, they cringe, their brain already knows how they're going to react without even seeing the image. So that should tell you that there's some sort of latency lag with the spirit under its avatar, which is the flesh suit of the human body. So there's latency problems. This place is more of a matrix than you think, okay? Like, if you view it where you are the player playing upon the sim, then it's pretty easy. But I don't know if I should go that far. There's other things in the Matrix too, all right? Like agent smithing. Never fight an agent smith. No one has ever stood their ground against an agent smith. That's why I got to talk about agent smithing later. And there's this idea, are you telling me I can dodge bullets? When you are ready, you don't have to, all right? Like, I don't have to do anything, all right? I'm serious. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do this YouTube channel. I don't have to fight. I don't have to protest. I don't have to argue with this goddamn war. I know exactly what to do, all right? What I have to do is very simple, all right? Do whatever my star chart tells me, because you came into this goddamn clown show for a reason. You just got to finish it out. Look, don't think that you have to do what I do. My duties and responsibilities are much more annoying because all of my stuff sits in the 12th house, and that's really the finality of death, really. So for me, I basically get a free ticket out of here if I can help people out or try to at least talk about some topics to calm you down, ease your mind so you're not in a constant state of fear, really, because what's worse than fear is waiting, right? Like, a lot of people are just waiting for the sword of Damocles to fall, right? Right? I mean, that's why, like, remember in the summer I was telling people, yeah, dude, in September they're gonna get ready to roll. All right, look, I can read astrology now.
Pink Puss, I just came up with something. You know, when people have terrible...
Oh yeah, and someone asked me how I can quote-unquote read minds, or like, oh, people have questions, and then, oh, I just answered in the next video. Oh my god, yeah. I mean, I'll talk about that in a little bit. That's more of a connection with Soul Group, and people are getting linked up with me, whatever. I mean, this is like, I guess you might call it quantum entanglement. I would call it Soul Group entanglement. People really care about this topic, but I'll have to address this later.
Pink Puss, I just came up with something. You know, when people have terrible deaths or early deaths, or early terrible deaths, I think what that is.
Yeah, they're checked out.
Is a spirit cutting a deal to either easily balance out their negative karma, or more likely, since we already go through a few realms after death to redeem ourselves, what if...
Yep, that's true.
Is a spirit cutting a deal to either easily balance out their negative karma, or more likely...
Like a lot of what you do in between death state of death is actually you going through the journeys in between the bardos, where you have to deal with your neuroses, like walking through the bardos, which is the stargates. Like when you die, you just see goddamn lights because you're in a spirit form. It gets dark until your vision, quote unquote, can adapt. All right. You might see illusions of like, oh, the angel. Look, there is an automatic death track if you wholly believe in delusion of certain religions, or you see your family welcoming. I mean, look, I don't know. I don't know if I should really talk about this. This is more stuff like Dan from the Overwatch. And then people end up in goddamn hollow heaven, or they end up in astral Earth, with like where America exists in the astral realm, and people are still slaves in the astral realm, even though they don't have a physical body, and they still work at their job, like at the post office. I mean, I've heard weird stuff, and it actually is true, as people have to work out their people call it karma. Look, you have to work out your actions, your speech and thoughts in life, which reflects upon you in death. All right. The end goal really is at the end of the journey. Like I'm skipping to the last page of the book. This is where you break the cycle of samsara, life, death, reincarnation, through samadhi, where you reach enlightenment, where you climb Jacob's ladder, where you literally go through the mystery of the light of illumination, where you reach nirvana. You encounter the Lord of Death, and the Lord of Death, who is descended from Saturn. There's a lot to Vedic astrology. That's what I realized. The Lord of Death, the Lord of Karma, who is of Shani in the Vedic, of Saturn. If you encounter him, you should recognize that he is of you, and you have to take responsibility and accept accountability. And actually say, oh, look at my great works that I did according to my star chart. I did the best I could. I tried to zero out my karma. Lord Yama, Lord Death, whatever. Lord God of the astral light, whatever, of this local solar system. You call it the demiurge. And then after that, gets a cycle through the goddamn blind-idiot god of the Real Generation ship of the Milky Way galaxy. Really, that's where these Hatmen, Invisible Masters, Golden Masters come from. You would call like the host of heaven, whatever, or the archangels, whatever, dude. I mean, look, religious tards had to create words in their conceptions of their language to really talk about this stuff. And a lot of this stuff has as above in the ethereal, imaginative world. It gets reflected as below onto Earth realm, which has different stratas of the material. Like where we are at is at the outer shell of the stratum of the Middle Earth realm, which is, exposed to our visible sun. I mean, this is like highly guarded secret society shit. I should not be talking about it. And even they believe that when they die, just like in the book Emerald Tablets of Thoth, they go through a journey of the dead through the inner earth, and the Emerald Tablets of Thoth connects directly with Robert Monroe. Like at some point I have to break down Robert Monroe for real. Like I've skirted around that topic for a long time. He's one of the best modern sources. I've looked at a lot of sources when it comes to this stuff, so I just look for consistencies. And what I've realized is that humanity is screwed and they're brainwashed. All right, like I would say the ancients were more into this, but in the modern era, it's like everybody wants to be chained to the rhythm. All right, they love Disney realm, they love the entertainment, they love the drama, they love social media, they love football. They love what they were born under. There's an old saying that if you were born as an Easterner, you should look at Western spirituality to complete your journey, which is true. I mean, that's what I did. I'm born as an Easterner. I looked at the Western stuff. That's why I venerate Christianity and Gnosticism so much. Even though people attack me, like I don't care. But if you're born, this is why even in the West, like you see all these Westerners who are born as Christians and become disaffected, so they go into usually New Age stuff, unless they want to go pro and then they go into Eastern stuff. This is part of the natural cycle where you balance out what your soul needs to learn as a learning experience. But I mean, that's why people, they always want to pigeonhole people or divide them up or create extreme barriers of thought, thinking barriers of thought of what is or is not possible, or dogma, all right? By saying that only those who believe in Jesus Christ will get into heaven, even though Jesus Christ is really an agagor for your personal journey to reach, this state, all right? But whatever. Like, there's even more to Jesus Christ. Like, the term Christ literally means denotation of the King. So it would be like reaching the upper heavens in the story as an allegory. But whatever.
Is the spirit cutting a deal to either easily balance out their negative karma, or more likely, since we already go through a few realms after death to redeem ourselves? What if those early deaths are terrible deaths that we hear about? Is the agreement with the spirit to...
Yes. Okay, this is what I heard from the New Agers. A great example of what I heard from the New Agers, or even what Dan from the Watch channel talks about, is a woman who was a rich, affluent Bostonian, right? And she was thrown off her carriage, and then she later figured out that because of her spirit threw her out of the carriage so that she would be disabled and forced to sit all day and paint and learn the esoteric arts, which is what she needed to do, because if she was just a rich, affluent Bostonian living the high life, then she would have never found spirituality. But then people are like, okay, so you needed to be disabled for that? And she's like, yeah, it's very annoying and very stupid, but yes, if I did not become disabled, then I could not really finish out my spiritual journey. So my spirit had to push me out of a carriage and do this. All right, look, sometimes people get pushed into the deep end. All right, like I personally got pushed into the deep end. All right, with my even my disability, because I'm going blind. Okay, if I did not have the state, I would not have the courage. All right, to really talk about this stuff. I mean, like, what more can someone else do to me if I'm like losing my vision? That's like a fate worse than death in the living. All right, like it's terrible, some of the stuff I have to deal with, but I just suck it up. So
terrible deaths that we hear about is the agreement with the spirit to get way more benefits in their next life.
Yes, but it does not have to be for the next life. Like, the example I use is literally you doing it for the benefit in this life. Usually, from what I've heard, if you actually try to check out early, you actually take a penalty, all right, in the next life, which is why I would never ever do. Okay, hold on, I'll be right back. All right, my dude, I got Agent Smith, so I'll have to finish out this comment later. Look, there's a reason why I never advocate Minecrafting yourself. It is like usually an automatic lose by default. You take a penalty, all right? Like, whatever, dude. I'll have to talk about this later. I mean, to me, this topic's too touchy, too weird. But look. By the way, reminder: if you guys want to post questions, three questions per person, if you really care. Okay, but I'll see you guys later on the weekend. Sorry to cut this short. I will readdress your question behind the line, because this is an important question, and I could talk more about the personal mysteries I'm interested in later. Like, I've heard some weird shit. All right, first-hand accounts, not just from books. See, this is very important. Like the whole, like, like me talking about like how I've gone close to death like 10 times. Matt getting almost crushed by a tree. My Yoda drinking himself to seeing the Angels of Oblivion. Okay, look, I'm getting Agent Smith. I gotta go see you guys later. See you on the weekend at the AMA. All right, and bye. And I would like to talk more about the hiatus show on Sunday, so I have a lot to talk about. Okay, bye, guys.